Hey, we're live.
Whoa!
We are live. Hello, everyone. Hopefully, you can hear us. I don't know if you can or not. Hopefully, we won't have the problems we had last week, which
Hopefully.
we will talk about what those problems were and if they're remedied or not. It's like, life is a crapshoot and stuff. Sometimes you just you take risk and see what happens. And that's what we're doing today. So I don't know. It might work. It might not work.
Fingers crossed.
We have 0 people on there right now. So we'll find out when someone's actually on there. They can let us know if it sounds okay. Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday night. The guys in the room are already looking at me like, what are you doing? Well, I will tell you, I turned Fox News off. So I'm pretty excited about that. You know why? You're not noobing me today, Fox News. That's right. I'm excited about that. It's not on Fox News. It's, if you leave it up, nothing comes through till the next news, and then you hear 10-second stations, and then you know that you've messed up. So I didn't mess up, even though, technically I'm on vacation and well, I don't count this show as work except on my timesheet because, you're supposed to do that, count it on your timesheet. So if this is the first time that you've tuned into the show, you may be going, Lonzo, why are you so stinking goofy? That has been a question that's been around since, well, for 54 years. Because I think when I was born and the doctor smacked me on the butt, I was a smart aleck to the doctor because I was. And, all those times when your mom says, your smart mouth will get you nowhere. And she's wrong. Yeah, that's right. If you're watching, Mom, you were wrong. She's probably not watching. She can't figure out Facebook. I've been trying to tell her how to do Facebook and YouTube and how to watch it. And she can't figure it out. But that's okay because some of us are technologically challenged. And she's older and she can't figure out how to do it. I would thought my sister could go over and show her how to do it. But, but she hasn't done that. So looking out the window, I don't know if you knew this, but it is fall and you can feel it out there. And so finally the summer is not hot. Yeah, it's still hot in South Carolina. So if you're watching this somewhere else, it's hot in the day, it's cold at night. And because of that, everyone is sick. Everyone is sick, including Cameron. Why are you wearing sunglasses today, Cameron?
I didn't. I thought we were just going to glance over that, but
No, I would. You know what? We can make a joke out of it. What I would really like to do is ask people if they have remedies for what is ailing you, because we have a listening audience that might be able to tell you some home remedies, stuff that you could put in your eye that will make your eye feel better.
oh, that's a swell.
And I'm sure
I'm
that
sure nothing will involve a toad
No,
or an
no,
old
no, no,
boiled
no.
shoe or something like that.
no. We're far beyond that. It's just like put some cumin
Are
in there.
we?
Put some cumin in there.
That's not a good move.
Yeah, cumin to take care of that.
I don't want to
I'm gonna say
season
that's
my
not
eye.
What you should do with your eye.
Why? I don't know. It might work. You don't know until you try.
All right, so I think I burst a blood vessel in my eye from all the sinus crap going on. So I'm wearing sunglasses on the stream so people don't see my horrible affliction.
That's not why. There's an old movie, and I can't remember which movie it was, but someone was asked, why are you wearing your sunglasses inside? And the guy answered, because when you're cool, the sun shines on you 24 hours a day. It's why are you wearing your sunglasses at night? And then there's a song about that, which I'm not singing because I've done that way too much lately.
Was that our cue to start singing?
No. Because you know the song. I'm guessing Matthew does not. By the way, Matthew is here.
I am here, yes.
Do you know the song I wear my sunglasses at night?
I feel like I've heard it, but I wouldn't know the words off the top of my head.
It's okay. It's basically I wear my sunglasses at night. I mean, there's some other stuff, but that's the chorus. You will notice if you are watching on the Facebook stream or the YouTube stream or the Twitch stream, that is working. That's what you'll notice. We don't have any comments. Someone give me a comment and let me know if the sound is working correctly. I believe it is. We had some problems last week, and I want to go ahead and tell you why we had some problems. First of all, Tim's not here because he's tired. I mean, I can make up an excuse and all those things, but he was here early this morning, and thank you, Trey. Trey says Corey Hart. The only way he could hear that is if he, heard it.
Oh yeah.
So Tim's really tired, and there was some difficulties over on the fan. So he said, "Can I just go home and go to bed?" I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, go ahead." I know I'm on vacation after the show, so you go right ahead. He's going to be working a bunch again next week too. So I gave Tim, because Zombie Tim might as well be at home. We've seen Zombie Tim. Zombie Tim is a zombie. So, and with
That would have
complete,
been a killer moment to do the Cranberry Zombie.
I was going to say complete with groaning, like that sort of thing.
He does
So,
on occasion say brains.
well, no, he definitely groans. Matthew's heard him do it, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
Yes, it's usually followed by some anger, because my dude needs to lighten up. So yeah. Now you sound like a Scooby-Doo villain. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about a ton of things, including we're going to review the latest episode of She-Hulk, The Rings of Power, and yes, I watched the first episode of Andor. I did.
I literally forgot that it was even a thing.
By the way, that's not a bad thing. Surprise,
Ooh.
surprise. Yeah, you're gonna. Alan says,
Are
lurch.
you trying to tell me that a Disney Star Wars production wasn't good?
All right, so someone else on this esteemed panel or goofball nerdy show may disagree with me. We'll get to that pretty soon. Well, there's only one other guy, so it could
Process
be.
of elimination.
So Keegan says, I was watching and commenting on Lonzo's page, getting ignored, forgot that WORD also streamed it. Haha. So here's the thing. If you are listening on my personal page, there are some comments that don't show up, including on the bottom of StreamYard says, can't post comments to some destinations. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. And neither can Rob Brown from the Rob Brown Show. He can't figure it out either. And the thing is, he and I are the experts in the building. So they may say other people are the experts, but they always come to me to ask, why doesn't this work? Dude, I don't know. Let's figure it out. So that's how, because we're pioneers here on the Upstate Pulse. We are the premier nerd show in all of the world, or at least the upstate of South
We
Carolina.
ride those boulders.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna go with
It's
that.
a SpongeBob reference.
Is it? Okay. All right. So many generations.
Pioneers used to ride these babies all the
I
time.
was gonna say many generations represented today. All right, so the middle generation, not there. So you got the older people and the younger people, not the really younger people, because they don't deserve to be on the air. Stinking whippersnappers. Get off my lawn.
The relatively young situation here.
Let's see. Susie asked, Lonzo, did you and I'm not proofreading this, so here we go. Lonzo, did you and Cameron do the Alice in Wonderland Clue game in downtown Greenville today? Thought I saw you two and family. No, we did not. I wish we would have known about it. Did you know about that, Matthew?
I did not know about that.
Dude, you're supposed to know everything because you're like a news guy.
Oh man, that's true.
News guys are supposed to know everything.
Aren't you just news? Don't you
I
just
am.
don't you just live and breathe it?
All right.
Exactly.
So-
I just I photosynthesize news.
All right. So Mark says, hey guys, what did you think of Andor after 3 episodes? I'm disappointed. The corporate cops give the impression they were washouts from Stormtrooper basic training. We only watched the first episode. We're going to talk about that, but you can get that from the first episode. Also, Keegan says, is Andor the best Star Wars show and She-Hulk the worst MCU show simultaneously? I don't think he's trolling. I think Keegan means it. I think
He probably does.
I think Keegan.
I don't necessarily. Well,
you're not going to find out till next segment. We're going to talk about it next segment. You're going to find out if Cameron is on the side of Andor, because if you are someone, we get crossover audience between this show and the Rob Brown Show. And I used the Rob Brown approach for the first time. And I've never used the Rob Brown approach when it comes to watching something. Or listening to, or eating or anything. The Rob Brown approach is to decide you don't like something. And then when you watch, eat, or partake in, you don't like it. So you weren't going to like it because you decided you weren't going to like it in the first place. And
so what you're saying is you decided to be prejudiced like Rob Brown.
No, it's not prejudice. And Rob is not prejudiced at all. Do not say it that way. What he is he's kind of he's the popular guy. I'm not that guy. I'm the last one to get picked for a lot of things, not for the physical part. Cause if we were both in high school in the day, I'd get picked before him if it was football. or wrestling. That's all I'm saying. Basketball, yeah. Unless you needed someone to go out and foul, then you got me in there. I'm in there. So anyway, by the way, thanks to everybody for already jumping on the Facebook page. If you want to be a part of the show, are we sporadic? Are we all over the place? No. You know why? Because that's what the show is. If you have a guideline and you jump around, and we are just one big tangent.
It's like the Pirates Code.
Yeah.
It's more like guidelines.
Yeah, it's more like a guideline. Exactly. So if you want to be a part of the show, text line is 71307. And we are on, let's start with Facebook. On Facebook at 1063 WORD. That's the one. If you get on that one and comment, I'm going to be able to see your comments. Also on the Upstate Pulse Facebook page. Also on my personal Facebook page, which is Lonzo and Word. By the way, like, subscribe, all that stuff for all those. We're also on YouTube and Twitch at the Upstate Pulse. And we're on Cameron's personal YouTube page, which is Dragon Pudding. Like it. Watch some of the videos on there, especially the Pappy Plays video. Cameron primarily does most of the voices on there, and I'm on there too. And Matthew hasn't given me anything to put up there, so I can't put it up there. So I think he
I don't really have anything to put it up.
Okay,
on.
well that could be it. That could
I just have my personal Twitter, and
so it's not shame. It's just you just don't have.
I don't do anything on
you don't have
my
anything.
stuff.
All right, let's see. Zach says, I want to be an honorary use. That is the best storyline in wrestling right now. Will Bloodline boot Sammy or Jay? All right, so to that end, if you have any wrestling questions, we're going to get to some wrestling questions in hour number 2. I don't do this enough, and here's the reason why. Because I am a big-time wrestling fan. Cameron tolerates it because I get him free tickets, and Matthew is not a wrestling fan.
Why you gotta say it like that? I watch it if it's in front of me.
Right, that's what I said. So,
toleration usually has like a negative connotation to it.
Well, okay, all right. Cameron is a casual fan. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Cameron's a casual fan. Matthew is not a fan. Don't be critical of Matthew. He's just not into it.
It's not my thing, but I don't hate it or anything. It's just not something that I'm super into.
Do you think that people who are wrestling fans are not adults? Do you look down on them? Okay, there we go. Fandom's fandom. I mean, some people, even some people in this building, the people who are the uber cool believe that if you like wrestling, well, you're just a child. And I would say again, which I've said many times accurately, radio is where the Lost Boys go. If you know what Lost Boys are, I'm not talking about the vampire movie, which I watched last night because I was having trouble going to sleep, and I put on a comfort movie, and it usually, that every word, every line, and then you ease up and you just kind of go to sleep. I'm talking about Lost Boys from Peter Pan, those Lost Boys.
Am I the fat kid in the bear suit?
No.
I feel like
no, you're Toodles.
I don't remember who Toodles is, but I feel like that's an insult. I feel like that's more of an insult than self-deprecation I was putting myself through.
I've lost me marbles.
Okay, that actually sounds more like me.
Yeah. All right. Zach says Cameron's fandom is mid, and I get that.
I don't get that because I'm mid.
It's exactly. It's an MJF reference. Let's see. Just FYI, the jingle singing on Tony and Philip's show was entertaining. Thank you, because I am everywhere. I am everywhere. I was filling in yesterday. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back and review all the things I was talking about. I was filling in yesterday for Joe downstairs, who records Tony's and Philip's show. It's recorded live, so it's kind of live. And it's one of those things you don't think you're supposed to participate, but Philip wanted me to participate, so he started doing all these jingles to see if we knew what they were. Tony knew most of them, but the one that he didn't know was, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. So I, like I didn't sing enough yesterday. By the way, apologies to anyone who witnessed the horrendous thing that I did on the air yesterday on the Rob Brown show, having to sing REO Speedwagon, the worst band in the history of mankind, Air Supply with electric guitars. That's all they are. And I had to sing it. It's not a good key. And I knew it was bad. And all these people, including some people on the stream right now, telling me how good it was, means that your expectations of my vocal strength, talent, whatever, is way low. And I can sing so much better than that. But it was punishment, and it absolutely was punishment. And you know what sounded like punishment? It sounded like I was being tortured, but that's fine. because I was.
The best torture is the one that everybody's involved in.
No one ever says the best torture.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Unless you're in a country where they're
Maybe
into
I should
that.
lead it with this. No, the best torture
Now,
is the one where everybody's involved in it.
Either that or a Russian accent. They both work. Or some communist thing where the best torture. Let's see. Before we get a break, let's go with Angry Zach still on there. I feel confident in saying that right now, to bottom, wrestling is the best it's been since the Monday Night Wars. I completely agree, Zach. I think the media scrum hurt AEW a bunch, but they're recovering because they do have other stars, and it's definitely competitive. I also believe, and we'll talk about this in the next hour, and I've talked about this on the Fan Upstate. I think I'm wondering if what Tony Khan did Wednesday is an act of desperation by putting things on that should be on pay-per-view on free TV to try to keep listeners. And but the competition, now there is competition because Vince went home. Let's see. Trey says, if I fell asleep watching The Lost Boys, I wouldn't have a nightmare of vampires. I'd have, I said vampires. I'd have vampires. I'd have a nightmare of the saxophone guy. Why? That dude killed it. And it was a Christian song he was singing. Why am I blanking on who the original singer was? It wasn't Rich Mullins, because we were talking about that on Tony's show. I remember here in a second. Also, Brandon says, what's up, Greenville, South Carolina, or Brantley rather. What's up? I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, they're on my shirt, but if I wear them, my headphones will drive them into my skull. Trying to get to all these. Dennis says, hey, friends from Atlanta. Hey, Dennis, what's up? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk She-Hulk. We're going to talk, let's see, what else do we got on here? We got the Rings of Power. We got Andor. We're going to talk about all that. And I got some questions that I need to ask you, and we're going to do that. You are listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. Text us at 71307 or message us on one of our social media pages. Yeah, that's it. Wow, this game's still going on. I thought it would be over by now. Oh, Florida just scored again. Huh. Surprising.
This is the nerd show. We're not here to talk about sport ball.
Okay, well, I'm in a mix of everything. Saxophone guy was in Family Guy Cutaways. Yeah, he actually, there was a Lost Boys comic book, which is one of the first comic books that I bought at Borderlands Comics and Games when I went over there to meet with Rob Young for the first time. I was just looking around, and I think it was Image Comics, maybe, no, I think it was Boom Comics had Lost Boys comic books, and in Lost Boys comic books, the saxophone guy was actually a vampire hunter. And it was actually pretty good. All right, now I got to look up who sang the song that I'm talking about.
It was Kenny G, obviously.
No, and Lisa's going to get me because I know who it is. It's a famous Christian artist, and for some reason, the name is escaping me, like most things. Because I'm on vacation. All right, Tim Cappellos was a saxophone guy, but it wasn't him. It's not Jeremy Camp, although he is a Christian artist. Why am I? He was in the Gaither vocal band. Why can't I? It was in the Imperials. Why can't I think of his name?
Oh, was he in the same stable as Gunther?
No, that's Imperium, not Imperials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm a casual fan.
If Lisa was on here, she'd be telling me, but she's not. Thank you, Trey. It was Russ Taff. I don't know why I was stuck on.
That's a name.
Yeah, he put out.
I just always imagine anybody with like the last name of Taff or Taft, they always have to be portly or rather broad.
He had really, really good songs. He may still sing. I don't know.
Now I got the Shooting Stars thing stuck in my head.
Yeah, I stopped collecting anything Marvel as far as comic books go, Zach, just because they're very awake. That's all I'm saying.
I'll say that the Darth Vader series is good. I don't really get anything of the Marvel mainstream stuff. I just get
Yeah,
the
I want
Darth
to stay
Vader
away from
comics.
politics, but yeah.
Um,
Thank you, Trey. I give good hints sometimes. My brain used to be crisp. Now it's just wrinkled.
My good friend just finished.
I was just gonna
a
say
few months
soupy.
back. Just finished collecting the original Deadpool run.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to collect Sandman.
Yeah, Cameron just bought the graphic novel from the first season, first whatever.
Yeah. It said 1.
Yeah, so
usually
it
when
might
not be like the entirety or something.
It might be one.
And it looked old enough to actually be the original.
You should have asked Mark.
I should have asked Mark.
While you were standing there.
It's not like I don't know these people.
Yeah.
Instead, I just made awkward conversation about.
Mark would have been glad to help you because everyone at Borderlands Comics and Games is there to help you and make your experience wonderful because that's what they do over there. Oh, let's see. Zach says Moon Knight and Daredevil are the 2 Marvel comics that are actually consistently good. Beyond that, okay. And again, I hate saying anything that goes political at all on the show, Trey. So I try to stay away from that. I was just giving a reason why I don't really look at it too much. And I enjoy DC Comics better. I do love Marvel movies, but DC Comics I think are better. Well, welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Alonzo, Matthew, Cameron. Matthew probably goes by Matt, but I don't care.
No, I go by Matthew.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I thought you went by Full Frontal.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
See, I can't call you Matt because I did a show with a Matt for 14 years on these airwaves, and it's not out of respect for him. Trust me.
I understand completely.
Yeah.
It's just when you've got 2 people with the same name, you're just going to start getting confused.
What? Yeah, like Mark or Tim or Rob or names like that. I mean, luckily we don't have that problem around here where there are just like multiples of everybody.
No, I definitely don't know 3 different Robs.
Yeah, I know like 4 or 5. It's yeah.
I know like 5 Dans.
Yeah.
Growing up, there was always at least one other Matthew anywhere that I went.
Did they go by Matthew or did they go by Matt?
I've met one Matthew that went by Matt, but everyone else always goes by Matthew.
Were you ever called Matty?
No, I was not.
Okay, that looked angry. Did you see that?
Oh, I think we got under his skin.
Twinge?
Isn't that right, Matty?
All right, so it's not gonna I'm not gonna do that.
No, because that's a jerk move to do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
That wasn't really I don't know what you thought I looked like, but it wasn't range. It was more trying to think back, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
So that cringe was just thinking.
Yeah, so your thought process was like my process of thinking, like the wheels are rusty.
I think I just have a very angry resting face.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
We'll go
join the club, buddy.
By the way, that's not what I saw. And if you want to see what I saw, you can check us out on social media on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch. Before we get to She-Hulk, do we have any texts?
Just one recommendation for your eye that you should just twist one up and burn it. That way, your eyes will look all the same.
All right, I won't do that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the recommendations. Keep those coming. So if you have a home remedy for Cameron's eye, rather, or I mean, you might fix Matthew's twitch that he says he didn't have, but he does. So send those in for Cameron because I'm really concerned about his eye, my child. I look to my left and I see him over there and I know he's in pain. He's wearing sunglasses because his eye's got this big red spot. There's a little black spot on the sun. There's a big red spot on his eye today. Anyway, so if you know a way to cure that, I believe it's sinus related, and I know we could probably go with some eye drops or something like that. But we want something. Is it homeopathic? I don't know. I mean, if you got something homeopathic, yeah. So if you got some old remedy, something that your great grandma passed down to your grandma, and now you have it, it's something that requires maybe a mortar and pestle. You let us know.
I'd rather not have to go to an apothecary for this.
Oh, they're around. We can. You have buddies who can 3D print, so you could probably 3D print a mortar and pestle. I don't know if it will be as effective. There's a mortar and pestle. Matthew would know this because he's a news guy. There's a mortar and pestles that have to be like made out of pottery for it to be more effective.
I don't know why a news guy would have to know that, but I don't know.
You could have heard a news story about it. You never know. I have seen a legit mortar and pestle before. I mean, they're also used for various other things, for basically just grinding up any sort of sample. It could be plant fiber, or it could be dirt samples. Who knows?
It could be someone who makes their own makeup. I don't care. But if you've got a way to fix Cameron's eye, let us know.
Don't let it just be rouge.
Yeah, the last suggestion was something that we'll take under consideration.
No, we're not. Not taking that under consideration whatsoever.
All right, let's.
Why would you say that? How do you know that it's not going to
Yeah,
work?
you don't know. You don't know until you try. All right, so
I feel like that actually went over your guys' heads.
no, I don't think it went over either of our heads.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure of that first.
like-
Before.
You know what? I mean, a lot of people go around seeing out of one eye. So I mean, there's that.
I'm just
So,
gonna wear an eye patch from now on.
Yeah, why
I'm just
not?
gonna. I'm
It
slowly.
would fit your D&D character.
I'm slowly
would.
becoming Lear, which
That's-
I don't think I'm unhappy about.
I don't know. Can you be an engineer with one eye? He's shrugs don't work on the radio.
I could take
but-
up. Thanks for that. They could feel me shrug through
Could
the
they?
airwaves.
I know I can feel it. All right, let's talk about, speaking of feeling it, let's talk about She-Hulk.
I can
because
always do dimensioning and
because I'm
braille.
not.
Yeah, well, some people like She-Hulk, some people don't. Some people are indifferent. And the latest episode of She-Hulk, it took a turn at the end, which is good. There were hints about some things, but it did take a turn at the end. Remember, WandaVision was a comedy all the way up until it wasn't. And I'm not saying that She-Hulk is going to go completely that way, but things got really serious near the end of it. Someone out, and if you haven't watched, it's too late, I'm spoiling. So, and some of you haven't watched it because you just hate it, and that's fine too. You can't like it. This show is geared towards women. That's what I mean. The demographic is for women. It
yeah.
is, and I'm watching it with my wife and son because we like comic book stuff, and I'm willing to get past some of the other things, the CGI complaints, all that kind of thing, to watch a lawyer comedy half hour. And I think it's been pretty good. Has it been absolutely great? Is it on par with some of the best Marvel things? No, it's not. But I never thought it would be. I didn't come in with expectations going, this is going to be the best Marvel thing I've ever seen. I came in thinking, as Zach has talked about mid, I came in thinking it was mid, and I think it's slightly better than that.
I have I don't know. I think I think a little less of it than you do. I don't hate it. I think it's funny in some parts. Other parts are just kind of, I just go, okay, yeah. Let's get the obligatory stuff out of the way.
Even the worst
actual funny
comedies
parts.
have a few good jokes here and there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I like the meta stuff. I love the fourth wall thing. I love
the fourth wall thing's great.
Here's the other thing. I think if you've had life experiences where you've actually been in weddings, and I have, a lot of weddings are like that. So the wedding episode, and worried about being upstage. The Titania fight I thought was pretty good, and the fact that that she knocked her veneers out and she had to go have dental work done, I thought that was funny.
That was hilarious.
I
I
did.
thought that was
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that entire sequence was pretty funny.
All right, so text line 71307 or hit us up on our social media. Who do you guys think the big bad is? Someone is trying to get her blood. And of course, they're trying to get her blood so they can start, a bunch of Hulks going around. Or something.
So here's my theory, and I really do think this is going to be the case. I think it's the leader, because he's going to be in Captain America 4.
New World Order.
Yeah, because that's always a great thing to hear. Again, I do think that the leader is going to be the main bad guy, because he's trying to find a way to do. Because I'm pretty sure that this was a storyline in the comics where he's trying to make an army of Hulks.
So the thing is, though, about this, do you want an unknown? He's kind of an unknown villain. I mean, to people who are casual fans, I guess. And they brought in a bunch of unknown villains in this thing, like the Immortal Man, which I thought.
Oh, the Immortal Man was hilarious.
I thought that was pretty good. I did. how he couldn't handle confrontation.
So
and
he would just fake his own death.
fake his own death. I mean, luckily he had some gold from back in the day, and that helped him out. So, so
Also,
if
what is he scared of?
yeah, commitment and eye contact.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I know about that. I'm scared to death of eye contact.
You know what? Never mind. I think he makes more sense now.
Yeah, I don't like eye contact. The only reason why I have eye contact, I'm looking at Matthew. The only reason why I have eye contact is because my senior year, my football coach made us do eye contact, and if you didn't do it, you had to run a lap. And so when you get down on a knee, he would tell everyone to look in his eyes. That way he could look at everyone and know that they were actually listening to him. Well, me, I have a hard time looking in people's eyes. I'm going to keep looking in Matthew's eyes just to prove that I'm over it to a certain degree. And so I think I ran once, and that was it. It's like, okay, this ain't worth it. I'm going to look at my coach. And so when I tried to look down, I remember to look in someone's eye so I don't get cut. Not physically cut. I mean, in this case, fired. I don't know. I nearly got fired once
I
here.
don't think you have to specify that.
No. I can't be real specific, but I did nearly get fired here for not making eye contact with a member of management. And this is not present management. Remember, I've been here a long time, and I can't go into details. Cameron knows the story.
Yes.
But just remember to ask about people's family. That's all I can say. So She-Hulk, I'm okay with it, but I didn't expect it. I think some people have the same opinion of this that they did of Hawkeye, and I thought Hawkeye was excellent.
I think Hawkeye was better than this, but it's more. Here's the thing: this is just a fun sitcom with some crossover stuff and some fun superhero gags.
All right, yeah.
Until now,
yeah. Is this the worst of the Marvel stuff? Yes, it is.
Nobody's saying it isn't.
Yeah, right.
But it's still not horrible. And
I've seen worse, but I still don't like it. Yeah, basically,
it's not so bad that I go, yeah, this ain't for me.
It's the same thing that I've said a couple times now. It's bad enough that I feel the runtime, but not bad enough that I have to turn it off.
All right, we need to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about, let's see, we are going to talk about Rings of Power, and we will get to Andor eventually. Before we do, though, I have two questions. By the way, also get your wrestling questions ready for next hour, because I don't really have wrestling people on here. Like Patrick used to be on here, Zach used to be on here, so there'd be a lot of interaction with wrestling.
So you'd say your stable is empty.
You could say that. Yeah, you could say that. I used to have a trios team, and now it's just me going on that singles run. So a couple questions. I've seen commercials for a pizza bowl. Can it be called a pizza bowl if it doesn't have crust on it? Isn't it just a pizza topping bowl? All right, so you can answer that question. Also, can animals dance? So when an animal, say a dog, here's a thumping song and goes, does a dog go, yo man, that thing is lit. I got the move.
Hey, good boys get turned.
Is that what? Can a dog or a cat or a fish or a cricket, can they dance? Are they dancing?
Why'd you say a fish? Why of all things a fish?
You can't see it if you're not watching the stream, but I am cringing very hard right now.
A dolphin can dance. I saw it at SeaWorld. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. That's a good point, Chris. A dancing bear. But it's not, that's not my question. I don't know if I'm phrasing it the right way. Do the animals know they're dancing? That's the question.
Are the animals knowingly dancing to it too?
Are they dancing because they feel in it? No, Zach, by the way, that is lame. Firm on retainer. I mean, it's okay from MJF's standpoint, but I don't like it. They can fix it, but I don't like it. One trash show to another. Come on. Come on. All right.
Why are you
Zach
booing
says,
him? He's right.
Yeah, Hawkeye was solid, but didn't love how they treated Kingpin. The Kingpin that was on Hawkeye, from what I understand, was pretty accurate to the comic book that it was based on. So right down to the flowered shirt.
Yep.
And he was
Ooh.
still scary.
Chris says lizards have a mating dance, but the thing is, we label it a dance.
Oh yeah.
Is it actually a dance, or is it like, hey yo, come on over here? I mean, is that what it is? And I don't know. By the way, Trey, I haven't watched AEW from last night because I was busy with a bunch of other stuff. I did watch SmackDown, but I didn't get to AEW yet. But I'm on vacation, which means I have time.
I feel like you keep mentioning that.
I do keep mentioning it. You know why?
Because you're on vacation.
Because I'm on vacation. See, Cameron gets it. That little girl, if you're talking about Echo, from what I understand.
No, he's talking about Kate.
Oh, you're not talking about. That little girl was very well trained. If you're talking about Kate.
Also, Kate got lucky.
There's that too.
Yeah.
Keegan asks, SmackDown the same without Pat McAfee? No, it's not. But he'll be back. So what happened is Game Day went, look at all that hype. I want some of this. Look at who comes. He comes strolling in like, I have arrived. Why did something mess up even further over there? Did it?
Oh God.
Oh, fun.
Okay, it's fixed now.
Thanks, Chris.
It's over.
Thanks. Did it go back and start doing the stuff it did before?
Yeah, I was trying to run 2 playlists in one.
Yeah. I don't get it. Chris, can animals dance? I mean, do they know it's a song? Do they know they're dancing?
I would say some of them. I don't know about like categorically all animals, but
See, I don't know. Some people have mentioned dancing bears. I don't know that dancing bear knows he's dancing.
No, birds do all kinds of mating dances.
Yeah, but we label it a dance. Does the bird think it's dancing?
The bird is
Isn't that what all dancing is?
That's what it leads to.
I don't know if I would say that's all dancing. No.
That's most
Welcome
dancing.
back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo here, along with Matthew and Cameron. Chris is over there. I mean, if you want to, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you're here. I mean,
I am here.
You're here. I mean, you can leave at any.
I could just turn around and walk out the door right now.
You can leave at any time, but
you wouldn't do that because you love us.
No, that's true. I do love you.
no, he absolutely would do that, and he'd be within his right. But since he's standing there, and you know, we're in our.
I'm here on
segment.
official business.
Yeah,
by the way.
you are. You're here working because things have gone awry, as I
Does
would
this
like
count
to
as
say.
a cameo?
I don't know. Can you, if you're the OG, if you're one of the creators, is it a cameo?
I
or is it a return?
I am going to. Well, either way,
Guest
I'm going
star.
to say that a cameo must happen on screen. The whole point of a cameo is to be.
You're on my
yeah,
screen
you're on
right
his
now.
screen.
Oh well,
Yeah.
then hello.
yeah.
Here's my cameo.
I was gonna say he's.
Yeah, I've got a really wide
Here,
angle.
let me crouch down so that I make sure I
Wide
get my
angle
whole
for a
head in the
small
shot.
man.
Yeah.
So I was asking
Dancing.
on the stream.
Animals
and-
dancing.
Yeah, animals dancing. Do animals know that they're dancing? And I don't think they do. And Chris says he believes some of them do.
I'm on the side with Chris.
All right,
I
but
believe that
again, and yes, this is I consider this a deep question because these are the things that just come to me. These are the things
You're
that
talking about the cognition of animals. I mean,
Yes.
you're talking about their level of consciousness. And I think generally we regard animals as being not sapient. There you go. There's your big word.
All right, so an animal has moves to say, "Hey, I want to get with you," but in the animal's mind, do they think they're dancing? Because dancing is a human concept, and
Well,
so the only way we can describe it is, look, that thing's dancing.
Well, the other thing is, how do we dance? Some of us dance by instinct. Some of us dance by thinking about the moves. I feel like most dancing, if it's done well, is more instinctual.
No, I disagree with you about dancing. Dancing is about how you feel. It doesn't matter what people think about you. They may hate everything you're doing. Dancing is a matter of what you're feeling at the time.
Yeah,
There's
dancing
That's not
doesn't
at
have to be
all.
choreographed
Yeah,
or
That's
anything.
exactly what I just said.
there's
But
there's interpretive dancing. There's all this kind of stuff. I look at someone dancing and I don't go, man, that looks really stupid. All right, I might think that,
You could even classify some dancing as literally just kind of moving in tune with any kind of a beat.
which is what dancing
I
is.
Well,
see.
that's the next question that I was going to raise is, does dancing require music? Do you have to have music, not necessarily playing, like, coming out of a speaker or something like that, but some sort of rhythm or something like that in your head that you are dancing to? Because music is, I would absolutely say that music is a human construction. I don't think that animals, when they perform the motions that we refer to as dancing, have any sort of rhythm or music other than their own biology.
well, I'd say that music is probably one of the main catalysts for it, but I don't think that everybody has a song going through their head, like if they're practicing.
All right,
something.
I got to say, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm guessing Chris is the same way. There's almost always a song in my head.
Something.
I was about to say, as far as I go, too,
something.
yeah.
Something will trigger a song.
It
and
never.
a song.
It doesn't always rise to the level of earworm.
Yeah.
The song that you can't get out of your head. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just constant. If there's not something playing, chances are I'm singing something or at least thinking of a song.
And if you see me moving around and it looks like I'm dancing, I hear something
Yeah.
up here. That's all I'm saying.
Well, besides the voices,
But-
actual music.
The voices
But
might be
that's-
singing.
But that's kind of my point is that for us, this human construct of dancing that you've described is essentially connected to music. And therefore, I would say that the motions that animals go through that we refer to as dancing, which I'll admit is convenient. I mean, it's way easier
just
to call that
imagining, like,
dancing than anything else.
In a
But-
bird's mind, it's just hearing chirps and the sound of James and like
Is
the
it
tune of James Brown. Yeah.
Let's get it on.
Tweet to the tweet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I don't
not
know.
that's not James Brown, by the way. Just
No,
I-
but something.
no, I know
it's
you know
all-
that. I don't want the texters and people going, that's not James Brown. Because I know Chris knows that's not James Brown.
Now, one of the funniest things that you can find, in my opinion, on the internet is pictures of birds dancing, doing some sort of mating dance, overlaid with popular songs. Like I saw there was a bird dancing to like Michael Jackson or something like that. And it's hilarious. It's great because that's the human construct. We see dancing and there must be music. Dancing essentially has to have rhythm to it.
By the way,
And rhythm is a musical construct.
Zach says hi.
Hi, Zach.
You can't see the stuff that he's coming at you with.
Oh,
Like, don't
that-
correct the
like-
corrector.
like that, or the planet next to Neptune.
Yeah, I saw another story about that. Apparently, it's smelly there. But I started to post it again.
Methane, yes.
Yeah, but it was a 4-year-old story. You know what?
Mm,
It kind of
that's
goes
when
about.
we did that.
Yeah, it might be, and it's still funny. I gotta say,
That's the story you found originally. It's like, are you sure you didn't read this yet?
yeah, it's very funny. We need to take a break. I'm sure Chris will just disappear.
I am. I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, but
I haven't eaten dinner yet.
I appreciate Chris jumping up. We appreciate. All right. I'm going to speak for
Absolutely.
everybody. And I'm not speaking for the people in the room. They can speak for it
I appreciate
themselves,
being welcomed in. This has been fun.
which you always
Not every
were
day
happy to
or every
welcome you in.
weekend that I get to do this.
Yeah, like you're
But I
really
would- I-
like you're
like I
really
said,
no, you're happy to be in the building. No, you're not.
I
but, yeah.
was here on official business, and that business is concluded. And I was coming to notify the executive producer that everything appears to be back on track.
All right. So as you leave, as I play the bumper music, which you can't hear, but I can, and I'm
It's
letting
okay.
you know that it's
I
playing.
believe you.
Zach has one more question for you.
Uh-oh.
Chris, you watched They Live recently.
No, not recently. I have watched The Matrix, though. Better movie.
There you go. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse Radio 106.3 WRD, continuing live on all of our social media, and you can text us at 71307. And yes, I have too much social media now, so if I say all the things that's comfortable and 7 things. It's,
Seven
yeah,
things?
it's, oh,
Yeah.
8,
Literally
8
7
when Tim's
things.
here.
You should just start saying this is like, and all the roads that lead to Pulse.
That's a good. I like that. That's a good way to put that.
I almost thought he was writing that down.
All the
Yeah,
roads.
I like that. It's
lead
good.
Write that down. Write that down.
No, that's good. That's good. You should write that down until you commit it to memory and say it by rote.
See, it's by rote. I don't know what rote is.
habit
It was. I figured from the context that's what it was.
because you're smart, Lonzo.
No. I am clever.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Good to see all you.
Oh yeah, good to see you too.
Take care. We'll,
Sorry, Zach. He's leaving.
yeah, I gotta go. Bye, Zach.
See you, Chris.
Bye.
See you, man.
Thanks for fixing stuff.
Honestly, I didn't really do much. The game had already timed out. The problem was I had to go back and unload the Furman playlist. Furman playlist was still running. That was the problem.
I thought
Furman
the
playlist
commercials
never ended.
I thought the commercial sounded that way.
The Furman playlist never ended, and it tried to start the new playlist for the Florida Tennessee game. And by the time that ended, the only thing left to do was to end the Furman playlist and then jump back to the current time in the log. So that's all I really had to do. And I could have done that. Didn't need to come up.
Have an enjoyable weekend. I hope I don't hear from anybody
Yeah, me
next
too.
week. That would be nice.
May your dinner be a bountiful dinner.
All right. Keegan is saying, what is the consensus on rewatch podcasts? There's a Pod Meets World with the cast of BMW. That's Boy Meets World, by the way.
Oh, okay.
And there's a Talkville with Lex and Clark from Smallville. Are they overdone or interesting? I've watched several episodes of Talkville, and I like it, but I'm a big time Smallville fan. So I just enjoy seeing them on the screen together and talking about old episodes. And the thing is, they had never, according to them, but they're actors, so had never watched the episodes that they were in. They never went back and watched them. So so they're watching them and then they're commenting on them. And then Michael Rosenbaum's producer, who produces his separate podcast, which is called Inside of You, which is pretty good. He talks to a bunch of actors about mental health and things like that. But
so how are you screwed up in the head?
no, that's kind of what he does.
I wasn't really joking.
And it's I like it. I do. But again, I love that show. So
Also, just on occasion with the Smallville stuff, it's just like, so did you know about Chloe?
yeah, you can't all the things, you know, they've had Christian Kruk on. I've seen them have Miles Millar and Alfred Goff.
What was her actual
think it
name
is.
again? I forget.
Allison
Mack.
Mack.
Yeah.
They've done separate things where they've talked about her, and they never. I don't know if you know about Allison Mack. She was in a sex cult. She was, it's Nexium, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was just pretty bad. I mean, there was slavery and tattoos and things like that.
Pretty bad sex cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad one.
She's currently,
the
I
sex
believe,
cults, it was not one of the fun
yeah,
ones.
it was not well. So she's currently in jail. So I believe.
We've all been
No,
there, right?
no, we have not.
I'm gonna say no.
Well,
I agree, Trey. Save Me is an awesome intro song.
Renaissance man, it was wild.
Whatever. Let's not go down that road.
One last
again.
hurrah. Then I faked my own
Mark
death and
says
got
I
away.
take full credit for that. They Live vote. It will live on forever. As long as this show exists, They Live will live on.
Yes.
All right, coming back with a little My Hero Academia. Demia, something like that. It's
My Hero
Yeah, yeah.
Academia.
yeah, Academia. Which comes back in a couple weeks.
It does.
What?
It's in October. Yes.
That's happening?
Yes, that's happening in October. And it's going to be bad.
And oh boy, I sure hope they handle a lot better than they did season 5, because that was sad. As a manga reader, that was really sad.
Here we go, purists. You know, and I think in this case, it's good to not read the thing, because then I'm not going, wow, they did that wrong. They did that wrong. Can you watch it and enjoy it without thinking that, though?
Oh no, yeah,
I'm
of
curious.
course. I love.
I meant you,
Yes.
not.
No, that's I'm saying me
not-
myself
yeah.
personally. I love watching adaptations of things that I've read.
Okay. I was-
It's just that was done really poorly in season 5. Other seasons of My
How
Hero
so?
were fine. Mostly the My Villain Academia arc was the biggest issue because they jumped around when in the story they did it, and they just kind of rushed through it really quickly. And that was my favorite arc of the entire.
There's a lot more to it
manga.
in the manga.
There, not a ton more, but there was some definite sections that they cut out for time that were really impactful. I was still very happy with Dead Man's Parade, or Sad Man's Parade. What did I say? Sad Man's Parade.
All right, so don't go too far ahead, because don't spoil us on this, because this is one of those shows that I really.
Oh no,
really,
I'm not going to
really-
drop any spoilers for anything that hasn't been animated.
I really like Tim. We've been trying to get Tim into it. He just doesn't like it. I guess it's not depressing enough, and
It's pretty generic shonen, but it's a fun generic shonen.
yeah, I mean, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I didn't think I could get into another anime as much as I did Dragon Ball and like Gundam Wing and Yu Yu Hakusho. There's been a few shows that I really like as much as
There are
DBZ.
several
Yeah, I know.
really big anime coming next month that I am, especially the one that I am most excited for is Mob Psycho 100 Season 3. I don't know if y'all have watched Mob Psycho, but it is a fantastic series.
I have not.
It's pretty popular, but I've never watched it.
All right, you know what I have watched though, and what Cameron's watched? That would be Andor. But we're not talking about that right now. So we are going to talk about Rings of Power and the latest episode of Rings of Power, which I think Zach has already commented on that he didn't like it, but it's not a surprise because Zach is angry all the time. Come on, man, find some joy out of that.
Zach, when did you turn into the old curmudgeon?
He's not a curmudgeon. He likes what he likes, and then there's some things that he doesn't. He's like me, even though he doesn't think he is in some ways.
Well, you were his radio daddy.
Yes, I was. Still am. I mean, technically.
Not like that, Matthew.
Yeah. We're going back to the last conversation, and we don't need to go back to that conversation.
Back to the Renaissance.
All right. So I will go on to continue to say one thing that Rings of Power gets right from me is I still get that same feeling that I got when I saw Lord of the Rings for the first time. And I think feeling has a lot to do with it. If you get that same, it's a nostalgia feeling, I guess, to a degree, but it's beautifully shot. It is a beautiful looking piece of work. It for sure is.
Yeah, it's one of those things of the beauty shown in the show is magnificent, and then the horror, the monsters and stuff are horrifying, which I feel like they do well.
All right,
Also-
so there's an argument going on, and we only got a couple minutes, so we need to get straight to this argument. There's an argument going on, and a lot of speculation on the internet, which is always right, as we know, that Halbrand is actually Sauron, and I don't think he is, and Cameron, I do believe, does.
I'm fine with the theory. I think it's very plausible, especially after this episode, because we found out that as far as we know, Adar, the burnt up elf, is definitely not Sauron because he took issue with that.
Or he took issue with the human guy pointing out that he was Sauron because he didn't want people to think he was Sauron. If you look at it from that degree, you don't. I mean, if you're Sauron and you're coming back in secret, you don't want people to go,
True.
"Oh, hey, look, there's Sauron."
Hey,
No.
Sauron, how you
Yeah,
doing?
and he's there with his fake mustache and his sunglasses, going, "No, that's not me." Yeah. So I mean,
I'm a Saurononi.
yes. Would you like a
Bada
pepperoni?
bing.
So
Welcome to More Pizza.
So I don't think Halbrand is Sauron. I really don't. Would it shock me if the guy who we think is Gandalf is actually Sauron?
That would be a swerve, but again, Halbrand is moving everybody to go to the Southlands and leaving Numenor kind of defenseless.
Yeah. Well, Numenor is going to be destroyed by a flood. I mean, if the
And
vision,
the king said for the Queen Regent not to go.
yeah, and he's been coherent. How long?
Look, you listen to old men who have prophecies,
Like
right?
old men who have been tainted by using a palantir too much. Oh, I love this nerdy argument. This is so awesome. It really is. Getting to talk about this stuff is so cool. And we have a sponsor, so that means we get to continue into the next hour. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD and beyond. And we're going to continue talking about some of this stuff and more stuff and stuff in general during the break.
Why don't you want to use my line?
I don't remember it.
And all the roads that lead to Pulse.
Because obviously it's not my line and I only care about me. This is my story. Okay? How many times do I have to tell you that?
Look, we get that you're jacked.
Well, it wasn't Jack's story though.
No, it was Titus's story.
Or Titus or however you want to say. I think it's Titus,
Look, here's the thing.
which sounds like Cletus.
You're gonna get your cool boss battle. Then I'm gonna fade away into non-existence and not get the girl
Or you know.
for Una.
I am intrigued about my next anime, and what you're talking about sounds pretty cool, Matthew. But I made a promise that when I get done with One Piece, that I will watch Attack on Titan.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be very depressed afterwards. I know,
Ooh.
but I said I would watch it.
By the way, Mark Avery makes a point. Maybe the elf guy is the mouth of Sauron.
Could be.
Another really good anime that's going to be coming out next month is Chainsaw Man.
See, I keep seeing all that, and all I can think of is how's a Chainsaw Man talk?
And
The manga is so good. It's amazing.
Is the Chainsaw song from the band that's from around here whose name escapes me because old and stuff? Is that like going to be the theme?
No.
There's actually a Chainsaw song, and I forget who did it, but I know the band's from here. They're from Greenville, I'm pretty sure.
also, Mick Gordon used a chainsaw in the Doom Eternal soundtrack. I've got an hour. I got this.
All right. Zach has put a ton of questions up there, which we will get to. Jackal. Thank you, Trey.
Maybe he was just saying Jackal. Maybe
No,
it's not
the
actually.
name of the band is Jackal. It is.
the band.
Somewhere people who work on the dark side looked up and went, come on. Because Jackal used to play a lot. It still might. They used to play in the area a bunch too.
You're absorbing all the questions.
I was looking at Zach's stuff because the way as the other hosts say, the way this thing is scrolling away,
Come scroll away.
it's going to keep
Come scroll
going
away.
up, and I'm going to have to go back to it. So,
That was bad.
but it is a paragraph, so I should be able to find that. I bet. Listen, I think everyone's done that, Trey. If you've heard that song, you didn't see what he said on there.
No.
Is that what
I
you're
saw
laughing
what he
about?
said.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just the very notion of it. I like it.
Anytime that I've attempted to play Leatherface, you got to do that.
I miss back in the day when I was running a haunted house. We appreciate it nonetheless,
Thank you,
Bradley.
Bradley. Yeah.
I was about to say, Dad, do you remember when me and my old friend were doing a haunted house thing and he had a chainsaw, the thing with the
I do.
belt off? That was always fun.
Yeah, I almost got in a fight with a guy, and I back in my T2 kind of days, I almost got in a fight with a guy because they had a chainsaw off and they had like a balsa wood wall, so it would hit it, so chips would fly off, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But he almost hit my best friend in the head. If my best friend hadn't ducked, he would have hit him in the head.
Oh,
So I had some words.
Yeah.
You could have words without cussing.
Yeah.
You can also look very menacing when you're in shape and look mean.
I miss those days where I can intimidate people. But you gave him the glare. You have like the equivalent of like the bat glare.
Oh, I used to be unapproachable. It doesn't work for me anymore. I think it's the gray and the
The
beard.
halo has been broken by the
Yeah.
grandpa.
It has.
Nope.
You are now a grandpa, so you are now approachable slightly.
I don't think that's what it is. The hair still bothers people, which I still think is hilarious.
He's got long hair. Obviously, he ain't got a screw up in there.
Well, the funny part
He's got screw
was
loops.
a couple times that
That's
I've
the
had
saying.
those looks was at a certain gas station where everybody looks that way, and that's just like
Why am I the odd man out?
No, last time I just laughed at the guy. Like, come on.
At least you've never had a saloon door incident when you walked into a faux restaurant. That was weird.
We got mullets all over the place out there. Don't be looking at me. Or maybe it's because I don't have a mullet. Maybe
His
that's what
hair
it is.
long.
Maybe that's what it is.
All the way around.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's
It
not
don't
how we
make
do
no
it here.
sense.
Not how we do it here. And I would say,
Where's the business?
Yeah, but I don't live in Clinton,
Dad.
so I don't have to have a mullet.
Dad, the thing is, they don't know where the business goes.
They
It's
don't.
this party all the way
Yeah,
around.
it's just-
They don't understand how that lifestyle can work.
That's 24/7 party right there. That's wrong.
That's too much party.
You can't have that much party.
Far too much party.
All right, we're going to come back and talk about Andor eventually.
Or not.
Eventually.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
doing
maybe.
the tease thing.
Yeah, that's I don't know what you're talking about.
Forever a tease.
You know about that, right, Matthew?
How in the past he's gone through things, said he's going to talk about it and then not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never intentionally do that.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, you know? At my
would
age,
never
sometimes the
consciously do
memory
that.
fails you. Welcome into the Upstate Pulse, hour number 2, affectionately known as the Nerd Hour. Used to be a third hour Nerd Hour, which was awesome, but then they ruined it. You know, I've written quite a few things that people have heard and didn't know that it was me that wrote it. And yeah, I said wrote it. Chris just swerved a little, but I don't care. So there have been many things that I have written that have played on these airwaves and others that people didn't know were my constructs. But when I put together the intro for the third hour Nerd Hour, it was such a proud moment. And then LexCorp took it away.
It's like when Big E lost his Langston.
Yes.
Or Matt Riddle lost his Matt.
Yeah, but he's mad again. So Triple H is taking care of that. Speaking of that,
Maybe Triple H can give you back the third hour Nerd Hour.
maybe he could. Possibly he could.
Just have a talk with Paul.
Yeah, he would have influence over LexCorp before for sure. So
We can make this happen.
we could make it happen. In the intro, you hear our sponsor mention, Borderlands Comics and Games. And I want to point out something that I didn't do in the first hour and should have. I will chastise myself later, but I'm on vacation almost. So that's why. And, you know, this is my excuse for messing up today.
Mhm.
You know, like today's my birthday. So I mess up, but you can't say anything because today's my birthday. You know, my birthday was this
Who
week.
messes up on their birthday? That should be when you're absolutely on your game.
I hate when I look out and I see a car coming from behind the station going really slow. That always bothers me because ne'er-do-wells.
This is a brick fortress. We're fine.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my vehicle.
It'll be fine.
My vehicle. I'm not worried about birds because it's dark and birds aren't real. So I wanted to tell you that South Carolina Comic-Con Junior is just a couple weeks away. October 9th runs from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's a Sunday. It's an awesome thing. If you've never been to a Comic-Con and you want to start out on a smaller level and work your way into the big one that happens in the summer, this is the way to go. It's a way to go. It's about a third of the size as the big one. It's about a third of the size of South Carolina Comic-Con. So hence the junior, because juniors are usually smaller.
Unless they're used ironically, which this is not.
Or unless they're junior samples, and not everyone will get that, but some will. Including Matthew has no idea what I just said.
Don't think I know that reference.
It's okay.
Neither do I.
It's all right. You know what? I'm not going to say anything. Someone can text it or throw it up on
Anybody
the
in the
Facebook
Gen X
page.
crowd, could you please fill in?
Oh,
what's
this goes beyond that. This might be a boomer sort of thing.
Is it boomer?
Yeah, it could be a boomer sort of thing. It was around before I was born, I believe, but kept existing as I was a youth. Chris
yeah.
got it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's a hee-haw reference, which
I don't know what that is. So
you don't know what hee-haw is.
I'm not familiar with the hee-haw.
All right, that's a good thing. Although it's weird that I mean, so according to stereotypes, you're from the South, so you should know what hee-haw is. But you know, there's that.
No, I don't. And
And by the
Unless
way,
you're just talking about the general phrase or something.
I've
Yeah.
never asked where you were born, so
In Greenville.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So with those pipes, it could be anywhere. So I know where Cameron was born, and it wasn't here either. So he doesn't know of the He or the Hall, and so Junior Samples was a really large dude on Hee Haw with always wore overalls. Hee Haw was a country variety show.
Wait, so that was a name?
Yeah, Hee Haw was the name of the show.
No. Junior Samples.
Yes, well, I don't know if it was a character, but Junior Samples was the name he went by on
It
the
just
show.
sounds like samples that are very small.
All right, you got your phone over there. While we're talking, you can do two things at once because I know you've got those kind of skills.
Maybe not today.
You use the other eye that's working properly and look up Junior Samples.
Oh, now I know what it's like to be Nick Fury.
Yeah, you do. Sort of.
Less cool.
Sort of. So you can pretend like you're.
Where's Kobe Smulders?
Yes. You can pretend
Where's Aunt Robin at?
Oh, okay.
So you guys are seeing the Junior Samples?
I'm looking at it.
Yeah. So he's a large individual. So anyway, Junior Samples is not going to be a South Carolina Comic-Con Junior. That was just a thing. I just went off there.
I like to have to clarify.
Yeah. I have to clarify that he is not going to be there.
Rob, can you get him in a couple weeks?
I don't believe he's alive.
No, he died in 83.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think he's alive. Not
How much
sure.
does it cost for an exhumation?
Yeah. Let's not do that. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. He stinketh. To quote the Bible. No. We're not bringing Junior Samples in anyway. So you should go. You can go buy tickets online at SouthCarolinaComicCon.com or at Borderlands Comics and Games. You can go to Borderlands Comics and Games, the store, which you should do anyway. We were just there today. Place was hopping. You can go over there and buy your tickets, and you're ready to go. And you can get there and you can go in and you can partake in all the nerdy goodness. Especially there's going to be guests there, including Lex Luger from the wrestling world and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So if you're an old school wrestling fan, you can see that there would be a ton of artists there, not only drawing things, but autographing things. And one of the best parts, well, there are two good things. Everything's good, but the fact that the vendors are there and you can go buy some, it's one thing. And I've said this over and over again. This is the first time you've listened to the show. It's one thing to order something online. The problem with ordering something online is you have no idea what it feels like. You don't know how heavy it is. Sometimes you don't know how big it is. And it may look like, oh man, that is huge. Then you get it there and it ends up, not being what you thought it was. Well, if you go to South Carolina Comic-Con Junior, you can actually go to each of the vendor and go, man, that looks really cool. I think I might buy that. You can pick it up, you can check it out, and then you can take it home with you without having to wait for it to come online. And it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Also, something to add, you'll find stuff that you didn't know existed. Like things you didn't know existed, but you would really like. Like in my experience last year, I found a laser etched golden plate of Star Wars, intricately carved. There were so many, it's like a hieroglyphic thing on a golden plate. It was amazing looking, and it's hanging up in my kitchen.
It is
dining room. It's my dining room.
Well, I mean, you could have said it was in your foyer. It doesn't really matter.
I'm not fancy enough to have a foyer.
Yeah, I think everyone has a foyer. I'm not really sure what a foyer is, but I bet I got one. Matthew, do you have a foyer?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
of course, Matthew has a foyer.
Yeah, Matthew has
I
a
live in
foyer.
Simpsonville.
Yeah,
he's a man of class.
Yeah.
I live in Simpsonville. Of course, I have a foyer.
It's like saying I live in Old Spartanburg. Of course, I have a foyer.
I come from Old Spartanburg.
There is Old Spartanburg. You do realize that,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, I'm aware. I'm just going with the voice. It's not sarcastic.
Old Spartanburg, that's where the Spartanburg Mafia is. I still believe that's a thing. I don't care what anyone says, although some people have corroborated, have agreed, have said, yeah, on the download, you're right. There is Mafia in Spartanburg. And I just want to say we're fans of them. So, all right. So something that I'm not a fan of is Andor. And yes, I know how you guys are thinking. Yes, Lonzo thinks Rogue One is the worst movie of all time as far as Star Wars goes. And yes, it's worse to me than even the Hollywood special or the Christmas special rather, because there's no hope. And well, that's because the next movie's A New Hope. No, A New Hope implies there was hope. And now there's a new hope. There was no hope in Rogue One. Let's just sit on the beach and watch the world die. No. and there is a rock song about that. I forget who sang
Swim
it.
on past the breakers,
And watch the world die. Okay, so you got the reference. See, there's always a song in there, as
I
we talked
understood it.
about before. Yes,
Life's a happy
yes,
song.
yes, Zach. I thought you were going to work. It is the worst, without a doubt.
I disagree completely.
Here's the thing, and we'll allow you to air your grievances. If you remove,
It's not Festivus.
if you remove, if Festivus is in your heart, every day is Festivus. If you remove the Darth Vader scene, the majority of the people who want to defend Rogue One will not defend it. The Darth Vader scene is the thing that stood out to them so much that you can't, ingrained in their soul. If you don't like Rogue One, then you don't like the Darth Vader scene. Well, I have seen that scene done better in a video game. So, in a couple of video games, actually. And we've actually seen the hallway scene done better in a lot of things, including Daredevil. So you take that out of it. Let me ask you, because Matthew, if you take the Darth Vader scene out of it, is it still a good movie to you?
It's a mid movie.
Thank you.
It's not bad though. Like it's not the worst Star Wars movie. I'm sorry, but Episode 9 exists and Episode 8 exists. So yeah.
To me, you take the Vader out of it, it becomes Solo. The Solo movie. Solo, a Star Wars story.
I thought you liked that one.
I do. But
And-
most,
no,
but
I
but
get
the
what you're
comparison is most people don't.
All right. I think
I never went to go see Solo. I refused to go see the Solo movie.
it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, it's a train. It's a heist movie.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's a heist movie.
He's
So
the
he's a
thing.
smuggler, and they do a heist. I mean, that's what you would expect a smuggler to do. Some people didn't like that.
Here's the thing. It was just Star Wars with a darker tone. And, when you're not focusing on certain characters and stuff, a lot of people die in the franchise. I mean, a lot. If you're not like one of the chosen ones or a very skilled character in the series, you're probably going to die.
Yeah, I get it's war. I absolutely get it's war. Speaking,
And it was a different take on what you see because you're not seeing Luke and the rest of the guys prevail, and it does a good job of showing that the Empire was actually pretty good at what it does. It's not showing incompetent stormtroopers missing everything. They missed a lot, but they still did some damage.
all right, Mark on the stream says the only hope in the holiday special was the end credits.
Yeah.
I will say that those Wookiees were awesome. I mean, the effects were better than anything done in Boba Fett. And speaking of effects and being really bad, let's get to Andor. Some of the effects are really good. You know what's not? Whatever those dog things were.
Yeah, the pig dogs were terrible.
The pig dogs, it was so bad. So you see beautiful landscapes and all this kind of stuff. The effects are good. Then here come the pig dogs, which remind me a lot of the rat dog things from Willow.
Oh, God,
And the
yeah.
excuse that they had is that was in the 80s.
Mhm.
There's no excuse for these dog things today and this day and age. You could do better. And Cameron's excuse for me was, yeah, but they're practical effects. Yeah, but they're practically stupid because they don't.
Hey, I said they were practical. I said that's why they looked like that.
Yeah, well, I think
Because they didn't spend a lot of money on the practical effects for that.
I think the setting is drab, which is supposed to be, and I get all that, and I get what this is supposed to be, basically espionage and all that kind of stuff. I get that too. The fighting was good. The one little bit of a fighting scene
Also,
was
the
good.
first thing that we noticed is just like, yeah, that guy realizes he's gonna die.
Yeah.
It's like he sees the blast. It was well acted in that case.
It was, but and
Also, you got to admit that the corporate guy, the guy who's over everything,
yes, he was good.
was hilarious.
He was
he
really
the
good.
best part of that
He was
first
really good.
episode. other
Matthew's
thing-
Matthew's nodding, but he didn't watch it.
The other
No,
thing,
I'm just
But it's good.
I'm just generally taking it in.
Sorry, I gave away a secret there. It's just
No,
like,
no.
yeah.
I said that at the start of the show, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. But some people don't watch the whole thing. So, or
well,
listen to it.
the other thing is the way that it's been billed by a lot of people is the first 3 episodes go together. So we watch
Well, it
one
is-
part
it-
of 3
by,
parts.
by the way, to that end, it's a series. All of the episodes should go together.
True, but you notice how how Disney Plus has paired certain episodes together. Like WandaVision, they dropped 2. Like the first episode of WandaVision was like a setup. And then 2 was the payoff.
Well, all right, with WandaVision, I think they dropped 2 to let so people would understand that what you saw in the first one was not what you're going to see in the second one, since they were jumping
because it
eras.
made the first one make more sense.
yes.
In the way that I'm viewing this. And the other thing is, I'm not really defending Andor. I'm just giving more devil's advocate.
all right.
I
all
don't
right.
think it's the worst thing ever, but I haven't seen enough to really delve into it. Once I watch the next 2 episodes, I'll probably be able to give a little bit more of a more insightful bit. But from what I've seen, there's some parts that are good, some parts that are not so good.
All right, couple comments on the stream. Zach says no, they made Solo too of a good guy, and Solo a Star Wars story. He was kind of a jerk when we met him in A New Hope, but they didn't have that be part of his character in Solo. It was kind of. I mean, he's a smuggler. He's a rogue. He's playing a rogue. If you play D&D, he's a rogue. That's what he is. Let's see. Mark says Rogue One was a war movie and Vader at the end was awesome. No, Vader was awesome, but the rest of the movie, it was kind of mid. Mark also says the corporate cops were awful in a Keystone Cop way. They make the prequel battle droids look competent. And again, I agree.
Well, if you headbutt a droid, he's probably not going to die on impact.
I will say, I think that people use the word mid specifically to mean bad a lot, and I've never really used it in that way.
Well,
when I say mid, I'm meaning average, maybe a little below average.
Right. So mid is exactly that.
I'm using.
Mid is mid tier.
Exactly.
So you're not the worst, you're not the best, you're just somewhere, right in the middle. And I can't even go mid on this, not yet. And yes, do I have aught against the series because of the movie? Yes, I do.
Are you sure you're using that word correctly?
Yes, I am. Yes. If you have aught against your brother, then, make sure you apologize before the sun goes down. It's a paraphrase, but aught I am using right. I'm not saying aught as in the number or y'all too. I'm not saying it in that way. You can look it up during the break. Just because Chris was here doesn't mean that you're on the level of Chris as far as correction goes. You're trying really hard. You're hurting me, man. You're hurting me.
Maybe it was just a bit and you took it way too far.
Or maybe this is too. All right. So let us take our first break. When we come back, we're going to get to something that we haven't done in a long time, flaccid stories, because you guys are going to love this one or not. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. By the way, I love my son with all my heart, with all my being. So don't be thinking that we're really fighting.
I don't think that they did.
I love you, man. I do.
They're not doing this.
Why? Are you getting embarrassed? So, yes, my expectations are not high on Andor, but a lot of people were asking me, especially on Rob Show, are you still going to watch it? Yeah, I'm going to watch it. And as I said over there, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to slam it. Here's the thing. I think if it was an awesome show, and it may very well end up being, it will solidify my point about how bad Rogue One was. So if you do a series right and it makes the movie look horrible, then I'm right. And I like being right. So I hope that this thing picks up and ends up being really good, because it will prove how bad the movie is.
Also, Cassian is kind of, everybody has the same approach to Cassian that everybody has to Billy Butcher in The Boys.
Yeah, well,
Nobody's happy to see him.
Yeah, but he is really a jerk. He really is. I think right now it's hurting his character in the movie. But we'll see.
Well, here's the thing.
We've only watched one episode.
Dad, this is what he was before he started with the Rebels.
Yeah, I think we know why he has to now.
Yeah. Because the other thing is that
he killed one dude and assassinated another.
Oh, fun.
Yes. When I say assassinated, point blank.
Execution
wow.
style.
Are you going to watch the show? Because I know I would just spoil it.
I probably will if we're going to keep talking about it.
So I'll quit. I'll quit talking about exactly what that situation is. But Cameron and I both saw that coming, like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then that guy saw it coming, like, hold on now.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I know what you're thinking.
And the answer might surprise you.
Well, and you're right. The corporate, the guy over all the cops, that guy was awesome. He was. He was very all right. He's not really awesome. I mean,
Oh, he was awful, but
yeah,
he was done in such a good way.
the acting was well and it was good, and the dialogue was good.
Yeah.
And I want to point out, there's no hope in anything that he said.
No, but it was very funny.
No. It was funny because the first thing you think is like, yeah, that's how most corporations cover things up.
Yeah.
So
Look, here's the other thing.
funny in a really sad way.
In KOTOR, when you're dealing with Zerka, that's what those kind of guys are. Also,
The Zerka Corporation.
yeah.
It's water, by the way. I know I hiccuped. I just want to make sure people know that.
Hitting the blue milk a little too hard there. Actually, blue milk was just blue milk. I don't know why.
We don't know what's. I mean, it was warm milk. Who knows how that affects things?
Turns out Owen and Aunt Beru are alcoholics.
Well, it's not really alcohol. It's blue milkaholics, maybe.
Blue milkaholics. Don't do that, Matthew. I'm watching you. You know what you signed up for.
Does he? Yeah, by now.
Yeah, I would think by now I figured it out.
Here's the thing. He hasn't lived through the Christmas karaoke special
It
yet.
wasn't what I thought it was. I already have plans for him if he's still around.
Oh, that's great.
He's already said he doesn't really sing. You don't have to sing to participate.
Oh dear. I don't know what that implies. And that's
You ready for our duet, Matthew?
I will just give you a hint. 'Twas the night before Christmas.
Oh.
Oh gosh, you're gonna make me
Narrate. Yes.
narrate. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not Tiny Tim or something.
Why did I hear
Go
you say?
bless everyone. No, that's not even that. That's
Why did I hear you say "'Twas the night before Christmas" and I thought the "Baby It's Cold Outside" song? I don't know how that connected.
Yeah, that's
properly, but I did
not.
Oh,
think
that's a
that.
different thing altogether.
we listened to that earlier today. It was awesome. All right, time for Flaccid Stories. I know the intro still says Flaccid Stories with Patrick. I would like to think somewhere he goes, oh no. That's what I would like to think. So this, if this is your first time listening to the show, this segment came about where early on I found out that Patrick Brown was squeamish. And so my goal was to make him throw up on the air, and I nearly did, and then I stopped. But because I kind of won, but if I won all the way, no one would have won because someone would have had to clean that up. And
To quote Infinity War, how much did it cost?
Yes, exactly. Everything. It cost everything. All right. So
Including a mop bucket.
this story usually has something to do with the intestines of some sort. The lower intestine,
The upper intestine.
the upper some sort of intestine, or what they're connected to. So that's usually what this has to do with.
Oh.
Okay.
We're going to the story says an Irish woman, but I don't know. Yeah, she's actually in Ireland, which makes sense. I mean, you could be an Irish woman and be living in Timbuktu, but you still would be Irish. I don't know why that.
You could be Irish in Timbuktu. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a thing that happens.
And see, I said Timbuktu, and then immediately I thought of Timbuk3, who I think are the guys who sang "My Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades." There's just so much connection in here.
That's an actual band name.
Yeah, Timbuk3. It's actually a band name, without a doubt. So Mark wants to know on the stream, is "Baby It's Cold Outside" still banned? Not here. It's not. We have a version which we can still bring back. Maybe even play it next week, just cause of.
I was about to say, Matthew brought that up during the break. Matthew, have you heard that version before?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard that version. No.
Oh.
Okay, so there's a version with Goofy and Cartman singing it, which we did live, and I had been after Chris, who we saw a little bit earlier, to do it for years. The first time I wanted to do it was as Bert and Ernie, just
And that was a little much.
yeah, it's just, and I couldn't get him to agree to do it as Bert and Ernie. So I tried really hard, could not get him to do it.
That would have
and
been good.
yeah,
But,
it
baby,
would
it's
have.
cold outside.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
Bert?
it's hard to do Bert's voice.
It's
Yes.
a difficult voice.
Chris and I both can do Kermit the Frog, but he can do it better because we know, because we both the first time he and I sang together on the air, we did a Kermit off and we sang Rainbow Connection, and he technically won. So I mean, he was a better Kermit than I was, but I was nervous, and yeah, he's still better at some voices than I am. Maybe at all voices. I think it may be one of those that he knows he can do the voices that I do, but he just lets me do them because, just lets me have them. I appreciate that. So an Irish woman is recovering because she did something that's just weird. All right. A 66-year-old Dublin resident who admits to having swallowed something on purpose told doctors she wasn't sure exactly how many she had ingested. According to a report published in the Irish Medical Journal, you've done something magnificent or not magnificent when it gets published in a medical journal of any kind. This particular thing got published in the Irish Medical Journal. Although doctors helped her pass 5 of the batteries. All right, so this woman just started swallowing batteries.
Did she feel like she needed more energy?
I don't know. They keep going and going and going. So although the doctors helped her pass 5 of the batteries naturally, so how does a doctor help you pass batteries that you swallow naturally? Is it with laxative or
fiber?
I would imagine
enema
laxatives and fiber
possibly?
type
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
A plunger?
Yeah. Well, it's a snake. That's how you get clean out drains, not an actual live snake. You use a snake to put down in a drain and you twist it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but I just because I was looking at you doesn't mean I was talking to you. I mean,
okay.
You're on the news. You're smart, so I know you knew what it was. That's not a slight. It's an actual thing. That's how I really believe. Although doctors helped her pass 5 of the batteries naturally, it soon became obvious she had a lot more inside her.
How many did she have inside of her?
I'm glad you asked that question. After cutting her open, yes, they had to cut her open. After cutting her open, they successfully removed 46 AA batteries from her stomach and 4 from her colon. Because, the medical journal reports, to the best of our knowledge, this case represents the highest reported number of batteries ingested at a single point in time. You know what that would mean?
It's a world record.
Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Guinness is Irish, right?
Yeah, I get where you guys are going here, but you don't get where I'm going. This has happened before. Do you get it?
You're right. That doesn't
yeah,
happen before.
Yeah. The fact this is the highest number so far, which means other people swallow batteries.
Well, you know what? I could see like kids swallowing a small battery.
Yeah,
or something like that, but like
a lot of us have swallowed pennies or something.
Apparently,
like
she
that.
beat the last participant by 1.
Yeah, at least one.
This is an adult woman that just decided to swallow over 50 batteries. Like what? Why?
66.
What prompts you to do something like that?
People have eaten Tide Pods. I mean,
all right.
People just do really stupid things.
While it's still rare, medical experts say they've seen an increase in battery ingestion cases recently. They say people do it as a rare method of deliberate self-harm, according to the Irish Medical Journal. So, I hurt myself today by swallowing a battery. Why?
Now, were they triple, double?
No, they were double A's.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, if you're swallowing C batteries and you're still alive,
that's heavy duty.
Yeah. I mean,
Jeez.
so if she was swallowing triples, everyone's okay with that. It's kind of, who hasn't done that? But she went double A's. I mean,
sometimes they just pop right out of the remote and they just go
just
right down the gullet.
Oops.
Yeah, it just happens,
You're reaching for your remote, you're sitting on the floor. It comes open and boom, oh no.
I was trying to go reach for that bag of potato chips, but that pack of batteries was right next to it and I just got them confused.
Yeah, absolutely. It happens. Without a doubt, it happens. And what do? Well, then, batteries, why? I don't get self-harm, but I do understand to a certain degree. I know that it's not that I've done it, but that's a mental thing. But, you got cutters, you got people doing, other stuff.
But why a battery, cousin?
Yeah, exactly. And multiple people isn't like they read, you know what? That person swallowed a battery. I think I'll do it too.
Is it self-harm or is it just like, I wonder what that feels like?
I don't know. I don't know. And that's what makes it a um a mental problem.
Mental health issue.
Yeah, mental health issue. The fact that somewhere in the 66-year-old Irish woman's mind, she thought, I think I'm gonna swallow batteries. It doesn't mention that she said she did it because she wanted to hurt herself.
No, but I mean, I don't know.
I just
It's a good way to, well,
I'm just
nothing's good as far as
no.
that goes, but it's definitely a way to hurt yourself.
all right.
for
Lisa
sure.
on the stream said they need recharged. No, yeah, that could be one way to look at it. You know, as you get older, Cameron and I were just talking about this earlier from my standpoint, not his. There you start losing an energy level, and maybe you think, you know what, those batteries got plenty of energy. I don't feel like getting up and going to the restroom. Maybe if I swallow a battery, I will. You don't know why people think the way they do. And that could actually be the thought process.
She just wanted to sing It's Electric. You love that song. You know you do.
I do love that song. You're right. Cameron Rice was right. I do love that song. No, it's just weird. It really is. I do have a question for the listeners if you're still there after the Placid story. All right. There's a store called Spirit Halloween Store. We can't find it.
Where is it?
All right. It's like gypsies. It roams from, town to town, from storefront to storefront, from place to place. I get that, but it is the Halloween season.
That's a very good metaphor.
I've actually seen gypsies before, but you're right.
Are they like the ones from Sherlock Holmes too?
Maybe we can, although those you could find, these we can't, because we cannot find Spirit Halloween. So if you are in the Greenville area and you know where the store actually is, because it's not where it says online. We went on a goose chase earlier, or a Halloween chase, or a spirit chase, if you will. We went chasing spirits earlier, and we could not find it. And
there are multiple ways to take that.
All right, so Tone says there's one at Pelham and 14. Okay, that might be a way to go, because we went to Halloween Express and it didn't have the things we were looking for, and Spirit usually has a better collection. And I know you guys are out and about more than I am, so I thought I would throw it out there. The fact that the internet lied, I'm so disturbed, because the internet was not telling the truth, and it wasn't there, and I couldn't find it. All right, we're gonna take a break. We come back. We'll hit the Nerd Roundtable, I think, or something, because I just looked at the clock and realized that's a 37, not a 27. And Lonzo, you should probably go to break. And if you know where Spirit is, then you should tell us. So that Pelham thing.
Tell us where.
Yes, Pelham and 14. We may end up having to go there. This is the Upstate Pulse right on 106.3 WORD. So Pelham and 14 is that way, right?
Sure.
Pelham
and 14 is, I don't know where from here specifically.
Pelham's that way.
Yeah, so
14's everywhere.
Yeah,
it's like 101. It's like
14 just kind of runs through all of Greenville.
You might lose it for 5 miles, but then you'll find it again somewhere. So, man, this show has gone fast.
It has. It really has.
Wait, we got one more break. Yeah, so we're a little bit off. We're not that off. I'm not gonna play the Nerd Roundtable sound when I come back in the Old Bloom grocery store. Okay, That's what they do. They are gypsies. I mean, if there's a storefront, a place that's closed, that's where they end up being, and which kind of is cool and sad all at the same time, because it's a Halloween place.
Yeah.
So it will haunt a place for like a month or so, and then it will disappear.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I'm guessing Wisconsin ain't no good this year. 28-0 Ohio State. Pretty pleased about that. You know, I did take all those wrestling questions and I haven't answered them yet. So I will try to answer a couple of those too. I'm not coming back with Roundtable because I see that Mandy's queued up and I just got to hear it. No, not Mandy by Barry Manilow.
But you love Barry Manilow.
Not really. I never really
Just
was
like
a
you
big
love
fan.
Bryan Adams
That's not funny.
and REO Speedwagon
Oh, stop it.
and Cher.
I'm fine with Cher.
I was
Do
running.
you
out of
believe in
steam
love
there.
after love?
Do you believe in life after love?
Wow. Corrected for a second time by my child
Got
here
him.
on the air.
No, that's also extra funny because we threw him out to that song, or he thought it was that song. Now I'm remembering the bit. Technically, Chris was fired once. Matthew.
He wasn't fired. He actually was promoted. So he wasn't going to be on the weekend show anymore at the time.
Okay.
So we did a video saying he was fired.
Yeah, it was a bit. And I got to throw him out. There was one outtake where I accidentally rolled on him because I held on too tight and he went down quick.
Oof.
And I went down with him. And our sizes were reversed.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Normally I would play the Nerd Roundtable intro right there, but I didn't want to. You know why? Because I can do that. You know why? Because I can. So that's what I did. Because did I mention I'm almost on vacation? I will be in like 19
Your
minutes.
skills of exposition are kind of going a little low.
I don't even know what that. I'm not going on an exposition. I'm just going home. It's a staycation.
That's an expedition.
But
I'd
With a
say
snort. How dare you?
I'd say goodnight, everybody, but I can't yet. Not for like 18 more minutes. All right, so
That's some pedantic peddling right there.
that's what we do. Pedanticism. All right, so I asked you earlier in the show to send me some wrestling questions. I have some. If I don't get to your wrestling questions, it's because you guys are awesome and there's a ton of comments, and I don't want to do that. Let me see if I can find the that's broke up. No, I don't want to do all that. All right, so Zach asked me earlier, is Roman Reigns the biggest, best instance of winning fans back to a wrestler after they had turned on him as far as rejecting the character? Vince's fault, not Reigns, wanting to make him Cena 2.0 when he's clearly not that character. Here's what I would say to you, Zach, and I know it makes people mad, which is ironic here. Vince, who's no longer with the company, and I think most people are happy about that, got exactly what he wanted. He said Roman Reigns would be the man. Roman Reigns is the man. Now you can say, yeah, but the character changed. No, he said this is going to be the guy. He is the guy. So technically, Vince was right. Let's see. Is the whole rabbit thing Bray Wyatt? Yes, for sure, it's Bray Wyatt. There's another thing. Finally, wrestling is starting to do what Marvel is doing with the QR codes, and that are show that them there QR codes will show up. Then
I say them QR codes.
they will show up in places that you're not really looking for. And when you do, there they are. And if you click on them now QR codes, they will lead you to, as far as wrestling goes, they will lead you to, I think the first one was Hangman. And so you played Hangman. And then I think the question was, who killed the world? And the answer was, you did, which is kind of a clue. Especially since Bray Wyatt was the eater of worlds. This latest clue leads you to a small video game that you got to play. You got to get out without being burnt by the fire. So they really are putting a lot into this to build up to whoever it is that's coming. also by playing the White Rabbit from, or White Rabbit rather, from Jefferson Airplane. It's gonna be Bray Wyatt. As someone pointed out on Twitter, they showed a picture of the Firefly Funhouse, and who's front and center? The White Rabbit. If you think about Firefly Funhouse, the rabbit really is the center of the thing. Even as much as Bray Wyatt has been, it's always been the rabbit. He's put that rabbit in a blender. He's done all kinds of things to that blender.
He's killed that rabbit.
And the
quite
thing
a
about
bit.
that rabbit, I don't think maybe you haven't thought about it. That rabbit is immortal because that rabbit is back every week. So it's got to be Bray. The other thing that points to it being Bray is during Alexa Bliss's match, the lights flickered. And when they play White Rabbit, they're showing a bunch of videos of everyone in the audience with their cell phone flashlight, like the Fireflies out there. So it's got to be him. And good, because Triple H is bringing back the people who people really liked. And Zach also asked, when does MJF cash in? I hope not too soon. You know, you took the belt off Mox, then you put it back on him because CM Punk is exactly what I said he is. And Mox just wanted to go on vacation.
Is that a Punk?
Yeah, a Punk. So Mox is on vacation. He just had to come back so he could be the champion again. Let's see. Tone says, go OSU. I completely agree, and I'm pretty happy about the score. Hopefully they score 100 because I think it's possible. The rabbit was the conscience of Firefly Funhouse. Exactly. He was the only one that was like, no, you can't do that. And he said, dude, a lot. So what if the rabbit is really Matt Riddle?
You know, going against the flow, that really does get you, tossed into a blender.
It will do that. It will. Even on this show, it will. All right, let's talk about some other things really quick. Diablo 4 is coming, and there's a cool thing. I can't remember if we've asked this because I'm almost on vacation. Matthew, have you played Diablo? You're not into Diablo.
Oh, yeah.
Have you? Okay. All right. So Diablo 4 beta is coming out, but they're doing something different. So it's closed beta, but here's how they're picking people who get to play the closed beta. If you're still someone who plays Diablo 3, Diablo 2, or Diablo Immortal a bunch, they will notice through the Blizzard thing.
Blizzard client, whatever.
Yeah, what's the client? Sheesh, man, I hate this.
The Blizzard app. I mean, they'd be able to tell by your hours played.
That's not what it's called.
I don't remember what it's called.
Just because I've
BattleNet.
Battle.net.
Yes, that's it.
So if you use Battle.net a bunch.
Sorry, I yawned at a very inopportune time.
And I think they can also judge through console also, if you're using it, because technically it's still going through Battle.net, because that's how they're figuring out leaderboards.
Your account and
yeah, and they're figuring out leaderboards and all that kind of stuff. So if you're someone who plays one of those 3 games a ton, you might get an email and selected to play a closed beta. So after I read the story, I'm back to playing Diablo 3 just in case. I don't
bump those numbers up.
I don't think I'm going to get that email because I was playing Skyrim a bunch, but today I was like, let me get back into some.
Well,
3.
if they go by total hours, you might actually be in the running.
I do.
That's one of your go-tos.
Yeah, it is, and I've been playing Diablo 2 a bunch too. So
I might be able to do that too if they count like the old Diablo 2 stuff.
So we've been in some betas. How many betas have you been? Have you been in a bunch of betas or
I've
any
been
betas?
in a couple. I was in the Overwatch 2 beta.
Do you try to break the game?
No, I played it for like 2 hours.
Yeah, when we're in betas, I try to break the game because that's what they want you to do. And it's like, we were in some beta. I forget one beta, and I was just blowing everything up. And I kept telling Cameron, they want us to break the game.
I think it was the Ghost Recon one.
It probably is. That's when I drove that car as fast as I could into the garage.
I remember Matt gave us some keys for ESO Online.
Yeah. And so when you get in there, you're supposed to try to break the game because if you can break the game, you're going to help fix it for everybody else when they bring the game out.
By the way, that's all you talk about is whenever we're doing that is you're trying your best to break the game.
Right,
I don't know how exactly you're trying to go about that.
Well, if you cause it to freeze up, if it has to reload, things like that, then they'll see that there are mistakes and they'll fix the code or whatever they need to do so it doesn't happen when other people buy the game. I'm not criticizing,
by the way. I'm always interested to see what you're going to try.
Yeah, because again, is it fun? Yeah, it's fun to try to break a game, but that's exactly what beta testing is for. So anyway, if you haven't been playing Diablo 3 or 2 or Immortal that much, get back into it because you might get to try the beta. We got to take our final break. When we come back in the lightning round, we'll find out what everyone else is playing and touch on a bunch of other things that we can before we are done for this week. Listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on 106.3 WORD. Oh, I forgot to check.
We have barely been doing anything all day on the text line.
That's fine.
So.
Because we're getting a ton of reaction on
on
social media.
So
it's also Gamecocks are playing right now. We lose part of the audience because of that.
Yeah.
And Clemson fans like to see how bad South Carolina is playing, so they will also watch the game so they can make fun of it.
It's kind of rich given
I'm
what
sure
today
my mom
was,
is watching
but
right now. She's a huge Clemson fan.
Do what?
It's kind of rich given like how Wake Forest almost beat them.
Yeah, they did. They still won though. They're undefeated. Good for them. Kind of.
By the way, I still want to tell them about my favorite story from Ghost Recon from that beta.
We'll do it now.
Where you stole the sports car which we were supposed to take from like this drug lord or something on the game. I'm doing covering fire. I'm taking out all these guys. I was going to meet Dad outside of the thing. He does a U-turn, goes back into the garage that we were going. He's just driving around. I was like, are you going to stop at all? And he does this Yui, comes back around, goes right back into the garage. The entire building explodes. And I'm just like, so does that mean and it just says mission failed.
Yeah, I put the hammer down and went as fast as I could. Oh no. Speaking of down, who is that?
That's not good.
It's not Stroud, is it? Please don't be Stroud. It's not.
Also, I'm playing as Pappy because I like to put Pappy in video game stuff because it's funny. So it's this old man with a cigar just
he landed
going, dang, gummit, we were supposed to steal that. I could have implicated that man.
I really, I really want to break it because, it's fun.
Christopher, is that like the war doctor?
He could call me by my name, but it would be weird.
Nah.
Yeah, it would be weird.
The internet has ruined the word daddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way,
the other thing
if you
is,
ever call yourself daddy,
yeah,
you have an arrogance
furry
issue.
movie or Fury movie?
Nope, I refuse.
Is it a furry movie or a Fury movie?
Fury.
No, furry has 2 R's.
Yeah,
it's Fury, not furry.
Furries are misunderstood.
We didn't say anything negative about
Okay,
furries.
well, you got what you thought it.
We understand the Upstate
thought
Pulse
it.
mandate.
Yeah, that's right. Because furries are fans of the show. So,
and they're also very good at vigilantism.
Let them be. If a group of furries are out and you think you're going to beat somebody up, they'll take you out.
They
That's
will.
What they do.
Furry justice.
Furry justice is a thing. There are plenty of stories about it. You don't believe me? Look it up. Yeah, you're right. Daddy in a furry movie was completely different. Yes, it would.
Yeah, that'd be a very different implication.
I'm probably on a channel that requires payment. I'm just saying. Oh man, why'd you let Wisconsin score? You need to fix that.
How do they fix that? They've already scored
by scoring 2 more times on them.
Gotcha.
That's fixing it for me. But they're going on. This is disrespectful. Why don't you just kick a field goal? You're going for it on 4th down. You're up by 21 points. Got it. Got the first down. And
you might get no. Okay, that block was a little.
I didn't see nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, as long as the refs didn't. When you block a guy and you turn all around him, that usually means that you. Okay, he didn't do anything bad there. It just looked bad from the top.
Well, you also are your vision is impaired, so
there is that. I can only see out of my bad eye,
and you're looking through sunglasses, which also will cause things. No. All right, I'll just leave it in there. Why not?
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, time for lightning round. We squeeze in as many stories as we possibly can in the last, 5 minutes or so of the show. But we were talking video games before we get to some other stories. Matthew, what you playing right now?
Right now, I'm getting ready for Dark Souls 3 because I'm about to do a co-op run with a friend, and so I've got to relearn how to speed run that game because I'm going to help them on their side, and then I got to jump back over on mine and as quickly as I can clear that area so that I can get to the next one to join them again. So
It's always a frustrating thing with Dark Souls. It's not straight co-op.
to a degree, but I'm okay with that.
He's found a way to get around that system, which is cool. Cameron, what you playing?
I am playing a bit of Destiny 2 raiding with my buddies and playing a little bit of Stellaris because they dropped a new expansion, the Toxoids. I'm trying to find the Toxic God. I feel like his name is just Twitter.
No, it's probably Toxie from Toxic Avenger, which I'm guessing you've never seen.
No.
Yeah, just wait for the remake. I'm sure that will be quality with Peter Dinklage as the star.
It might be garbage.
Yeah, but it should be because it's supposed to.
Yeah.
I am.
You got the joke.
As I've been still playing Skyrim a ton. Also, I played through a whole mod that was like 15 to 20 hours. Got through to the end of the mod, and the mod broke, so I couldn't beat the boss.
Which mod was it?
Oh, what's her name? It's I forget her name. I'll think about it.
Was
It's-
it the Khajiit
No,
girl or
no. I still have her. She's fine. It was
Or was it a follower mod thing?
yeah, it was a follower mod, but
Was
it had
Ori?
no. I still have Ori. She's good.
Okay.
But it was another one that was highly rated that starts out in Markarth, and you get kidnapped as a Dragonborn, which is really stupid because there's no way you should be able to do that. And it's her name's Dragonheart is the name of the
Not familiar
name
with
of
that
the
one,
thing.
actually.
You get all the way to the end, you got to fight her dad, and all my as Cameron calls them, my harem, because I have multiple followers and they're all women of different races and everything.
Yeah, that's a harem.
That's
yeah,
a diverse
okay.
harem.
I don't think it's a harem. They're not wearing the harem stuff.
It's still a harem.
Okay. Anyway, so they're
You're
just
going full harem
they're just-
protagonist.
they're
with
just
the,
attacking the dude and he's just standing there and nothing's happening. So I've deleted the mod, brought it back, all that kind of stuff, and it never worked. So finally I just deleted it and left it off. That's frustrating. But again, it's a mod. So sometimes mods don't function the way they're supposed to. I even have a mod that will allow me to cheat past a scenario if it's broken. And it doesn't, because it's a mod, it doesn't recognize it. So I couldn't get past it. And it really is the last thing.
Wow.
He kidnaps her. She's hanging up. You know those on top of some of the ruins where it has the lookout things that are like made of dragons? She's like trapped in between one of those. You can go up and you can't talk to her. You can't do anything. I can't kill the dude. So, and so finally I'm just like, okay, I would like to have finished it to see what happened at the end to find out if she legitimately has a dragon heart or if it was just, a figurative
nickname.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. No, I know what mod this is. Yeah.
Yeah. And it just broke. And apparently it's broken a lot. So, which I should have checked out before I actually downloaded the mod. But, again, it's a mod. It happens like that.
well, at least you got most of the way through.
I got all the way to near the end. That's what makes it worse.
It's like a tease.
Yeah.
Unfortunate that you're playing on console and you can't just console command kill him to progress it.
Yeah, that would be awesome if I could do that, but I can't. So I'm also about to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey because it just dropped on Game Pass or Pulse, depending on how fancy you are. And I've never played that one. I'm wondering if it can be better than Black Flag or Odyssey, or not Odyssey, but Valhalla. And Tim T2, who should be back on the show next week, says that it is. So I'm going to have some time on my hands because I'm a minute away from vacation.
You have too much time on your hands?
No, because I'm not sitting on a bar stool and all that stuff. That was very, very good. Thanks to everyone who's participated on the Facebook pages and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. We love you guys. We're glad that we were able to have you back this week without problems with the streaming, which is due to a short which didn't act up. The short never reared its ugly head. The wires haven't been replaced yet because they have to order them. So we got lucky. We got through that. Again, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for listening to the show. Tell a friend about us. And we will be back next week. We know because we're sponsored. I'm going on vacation now, everybody. See ya. All right, talk already. Talk. I mean, not you, but
Oh, okay. I was
about
going to say, I was going to go into a spiel. Tell your enemies. Tell people you don't know. Scream at random strangers in the street.
Yeah, do that.
Proclaim Upstate Pulse to the world.
Yes, proclaim us. Proclaim us. Matthew, say goodbye.
Make flyers.
Goodbye.
Cameron, say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
By the way, there's nothing wrong with Cameron's eye. He's just really cool. That's all it is.
That's completely incorrect.
See you, everybody.